I'm Shona Mitchell. I studied sports science at Anglia Ruskin University and graduated in 2017. I thought it was a good way to discover the human anatomy and see what it's like with normal ranges as well as exertion, so that I could kind of implement that into more of a clinical role as well. I went into coaching for my first year, and then I spoke to Dan Gordon and we talked about how I was more scientific orientated, and we thought that it would be a better fit for me if I changed over to the sports science degree. Manage a lot of qualitative data, so I wasn't one for really sitting down, understanding all of the numbers, using SPSS, which is very tedious at times. It allowed me to grow in that way, to actually understanding what all these numbers are about and what I could use them towards. So critically thinking in that way. Also the use of blood samples as well, so determining whether I was squeamish, which is a really big thing in my job role. The course helped me develop my communication skills, so more my presentation skills. So the community that I built within the course helped me really build the confidence to actually get in front of a crowd. And I found that as the course progressed, I could then go on and do conferences as well. So that was a thing that we got involved with Dan Gordon. So we went down to Plymouth. So it was more about growing and understanding that you do actually have the ability to go and do what you need to do without holding back. It gave me a nice overview of what the human anatomy is all about in a nice relaxed manner, as opposed to going into a medical degree. But I think understanding the physiology in a normal state and at exertion will give you a good understanding as to what the human body is actually capable of doing first. I then could implement that into how people then get ill and sick, and it helped me progress that way in understanding where we could go with it. Great staff, great facilities, and very innovative. I'm a trainee cardiac scientist on the scientific training program, and I'm studying here at Royal Papworth Hospital. We go from clinics from doing ECGs, ambulatory Holter monitors, to echoes, to cath labs. So we work with a multidisciplinary team up there. So we're in charge of defibs, keeping an eye on the patient's condition as well. And when the consultant gives us blood samples, we analyse those as well. We do pacemaker checks, and we also do ETTs, so we do stressful tests, so we do treadmill testing. We also sit in with the radiologists with a MIBI test, so a nuclear medicine test. So we are there to monitor the patient's condition and their ECG during understanding the physiology and the anatomy of the human body, understanding it at a stressful state as well as at a normal state. Also the handling of blood samples, and also the interaction with people, so participants and your colleagues. And also communication skills, so presentation skills. When you're going towards explaining a certain procedure to a patient, you need to be able to discuss that in full and very clearly as possible for them to understand what the implications of that procedure is, and whether they understand the instructions of how to then follow through with what's needed.